What up, y'all? Welcome back to Pics. It didn't happen. I am Fats King. I am always joined by my brother, the Yeti. You want to say what's up, homie?
And I am Yeti, and I am Barry. I don't know why we're talking like this today.
I got energy because I'm high as fuck. You just be being you.
Yeah.
We have an extra special guest here. This is somebody who I've actually been trying to land for a little while. You want to say what's up, bro?
Yeah, what up, man? What up, everybody?
And look, it's Rick Mole.
I was going to say, for the uninitiated, if you didn't know, that's Rick fucking Mole.
Well, and that's the thing. You know what? Everybody, despite what he says, as we were talking before we started here, everybody knows Rick because Rick makes shit happen.
Yeah, like for real, that's something it's common knowledge. If you order something from Zulmart, it will be shipped out with the quickness, and it's because of this man. So if you've ever bought anything from Zulmart, you should say an extra special thank you to this man right here.
Yeah, do it in the comments, like a little clap or something.
Yeah, absolutely. A little clap for Rick in the comments.
Yeah, from Ohio with love.
Yeah, because the only thing that comes out of Ohio is meth and love.
Yeah, yeah. Suboxone love.
Oh God, that was 2 episodes ago. We're not talking about that shit. So, okay, before we actually get into this whole interview thing, like I just want to say, you gave me a shout out on Tuesday Night Terror shortly after Camp Zool. I really fucking appreciate that. I really do. That shit was so fucking cool. We'll talk about camp in a little bit, but I just want to get that out of the way. You've been a juggalo for longer than you've been a Zooligan. I wanted to touch on that because that's something that all of us have in common. No matter what side you claim, we all started as juggalos. So what got you into ICP, into psychopathic, this side of the music scene?
Like, honestly, at one point, it's fucked up. I heard the music younger as a kid, probably about 6 or 7. Probably, I remember hearing it faintly, and then probably about 11 or 12 was the time that I really started getting into it heavy. And I'm kind of getting emotional just talking about it, man.
Oh shit! I was not intended for that.
Yeah, at one point in time, as far as outside of my home life or whatever, it was all I had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I didn't have no friends. I didn't have no, you know what I mean? But that's just being a juggalo and a Zooligan in general is it's just flavor. You know what I mean? It's even if you don't, just having being a juggalo is taught me how to dress, talk, walk. You know what I mean? It's brought me my best friends and all this shit around me. Pretty much created the world that I live in now. You know what I mean? So it's it's epic. It's one of the greatest gifts of just being a juggalo and being a part of the community that I've ever done in my life, pretty much. You know what I mean? It's a big fucking deal to me.
Oh no, I absolutely agree. I got it tattooed on my fucking skin. It's not like this is just a passing fad for any of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So fuck every teacher who told me I was going to grow out of this. Just want to get that.
Yeah, for some people it probably was though. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with doing different things in life and switching stuff. So maybe they were became a juggalo and they learned something or found it wasn't for them, or they learned what they needed from it, or they came in with the wrong intentions and the universe spit it back out, and that's why they don't fly it anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel that shit. That I kind of had the same thing. I fell out myself for about 8 years. I left the scene entirely. But we've all had our moments where it's just man, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing with this shit anymore.
Yeah, because it's it's not it's usually about about that 10, 15 year marker where you're just man, it's I really just dedicate my life to doing this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you hit that reaffirming button. You're yeah, I guess I fucking did.
Yeah. It's I had my doubts to one point in time because I kind of took a break from the scene and just quit going to shows. I took a break for probably about 2.5 years. And I didn't feel like I was missing anything because I felt like I needed to do other shit. And then when I came back after my break, it was a whole new world to me. It wasn't the same, you know what I mean? Just from those years back, taking a break, it just became not completely different to me, but I just saw things differently.
Yeah, it was definitely different coming back.
We all grew up. That's something that I feel like a lot of people don't want to acknowledge is a lot of people grew the fuck up.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. We old now, cuz.
I'm not gonna pretend like there's not gray hair in my beard. It is what it is.
Yeah, my boy called out on my gray hair and my beard and shit today. I'm only 32, but fuck, I've been stressed the fuck out since I was a kid.
So, and I guess we'll continue the questioning shit because this is just a good vibe. How did you get introduced to the Zool Boys? Like, because you've been on this to like since the beginning, right?
I mean, more or less. I mean, like Bill and them and all that, always been doing music and shit, and like even when I first met them and shit and stuff. But like, I just met them doing jug shit like way back in the day. Like me, like I went to my first gathering with like Joe and Bill and shit and stuff like that. Like when we used to go to shows and shit and stuff about like. I think I met Bill in like 06, and then like, you know, we started going to shows pretty heavy in like 07, and just like really started, you know, in 08 and shit and everything like that, and was like really doing shit. And then like, I think I like around the time that we all like 2010, 2011, like we all kind of just took a break. You know what I mean? Like I did my thing out in Oregon. Like even Bill and Joe quit going to like gatherings and shows for the most part and shit and stuff like that. And then like, I don't know, like 2014 is like, you know, like 2014 came back around, and it's like, that's kind of like when we started doing like Azul and stuff. I mean, it had always been a thing, but you know, just brought it out the woodwork again or whatever, you know. And yeah, just doing juggalo shit. I lived in like a town like a little ways out from Portsmouth, and like I knew this juggalo kid that I used to hang out with, and he was like, yo, I got this super fresh juggalo cousin or a cousin that lives in fucking Ohio. We should go hang out with him. And pretty much like, you know, like that simple.
That's so crazy how these bonds are built, man. Like it really fucking is.
Yeah, it's just random, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just, you know, just knowing somebody and be like, hey, let's go do juggalo shit.
Well, and that's what I appreciate about the whole scene, really. It just seems like it's built on friends that were just hanging out and doing things, and then it just sort of grew on its own. It wasn't.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
that's
exactly what it is. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry, man.
You're good.
But that's exactly what it is. It's like me and Bill and like all of, you know, I've known these guys for like, fuck, I want to say like going like 15 years or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it's just like we used to do this, then we do that, then we do this, and then we do that. And it's like now it's just like what we've been doing. Like as soon as like, you know, Bill talked about it doing it again, and they had already started brought it back up, and it was just like, well, I guess this is what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like you know, it's crazy to see the growth of it, and like everything from even back when they used to do like Maniac shows to like now, and like just the whole like world that it is now, and like everybody that's involved with it. It's fucking crazy. Like it's fucking wild, man.
Yeah, I was actually talking about that today with us. We just Sundays we record stuff, and that's what we're gonna do. Because I was like, you know, we could play D&D if we weren't recording every Sunday. Like that's where the time slot is. We're busy recording things.
Yeah.
I hate to break the motherfuckers, but I'm dedicated to this shit, and that's something that people don't understand. And I've preached it on this 100 times, maybe 1,000. Dedication is what it takes to be able to do this, to be a rapper, to be anything involved in this scene, because there's not a whole lot of money in here, so it's done for the love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it right there, bro. Like it ain't about the fucking paycheck, man. It's about like having like purpose higher than just like working at like Walmart or fucking Lowe's or somewhere, and then like, you know, it's just like not so much me, but just like the boys, and like I guess I'm a part of it. It's just like building a legacy, kind of. You know what I mean? Like of like. People will remember them, you know what I mean? Or like us is like, you know, those guys like, you know, brought something fresh to fucking look forward to, you know what I mean? Like they brought magic back to people's lives and shit.
Well, it really did. I mean, I hate to say it again, but I really get this old school Hatchet vibe, this thing that I feel like has been lost in a lot of people. And it's great to see it having a beating heart again. And it's not just LLE that's involved in this movement of this revival, but they're a big fucking spearhead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, man. You know what I mean? Like it's just like the one thing. It just like I don't know. It's just like it went from being like a one thing that's like it's like, you know, like it's kind of like AXE or like Long Live Evil is like the umbrella or like the sprout tree from it, and it's like all this shit from like Pretzel to like Philbrick, even Tom, and like even you guys doing your thing is just like. Not saying it's not spawned underneath Juggalo shit, but like I look at it as like Zooligan shit. Like it's not saying that I don't look at you as like a Juggalo, but like when I see you, I was like, that's a Zooligan. Like that's more of like a closer bond.
And I don't wear that with fucking pride. It's my whole life. I've always claimed to be a Juggalo, but in the last 4 years or so, I don't mind the Zooligan tag. As a matter of fact, I kind of prefer it sometimes.
Yeah, yo. Well, it's like that's the thing about it to me. It's like, because I've been active in shows for years. Like I've been going to shows for years. So we've all been to shows to each other. We've probably been in the same room before. And that goes for like, everybody really. Like we probably been in the same venues in Detroit or Columbus or wherever and been like 10, 15 feet apart from each other, probably multiple times.
And never even knew it.
Yeah, and never even knew it until like we found each other through this. And like I've had people say just like, it's like when people see like the Long Live Evil or like the AXC shit or like a Fun Time guy, more so like with AXC shit or whatever, it's kind of just like to them, it's like seeing seeing an AXC shield, it's like seeing a fucking Hatchet Man back in like 2002. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, whoa, like what's up with you, bro? Like what's your name? Like what the fuck do you do? Where the fuck are you from? And the Juggalo world has kind of gotten away from that, and I get it because it's mature. The Juggalo world is old. So like all the people that have the bonds that they've probably been made already for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's hard to bring new people in.
Yeah, and well, that's where it's turned into. It got turned in. There's no future in old ass anything. You know what I'm saying? Like there ain't no future in no old ass Zooligans. There's ain't no future in no old ass Juggalos. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to have more people come in to make it stay alive. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a gatekeeper, protect shit, you're gonna kill it, kind of. You know what I mean?
That's something. If you go back to the early days, though, that we all used to preach with fucking fever, man. It was fuck everybody else, keep it in your clique, fuck the outside. But I feel like, unfortunately, that mindset has made it to where it's like we don't even let nobody knew it. It's if you ain't figured this out in like fucking 2004, we don't want you around at all. You know what I mean?
I would have to interject, a lot of those types of lessons that kind of help build their mystique and build their rock star status were probably not the best for the community as a whole.
That's not fucking, you're not far off on that one, bro.
So, but
that's something that I see in this Zooligan movement. I don't see the gatekeeping. I don't see the stunting on your friends just because you got more money. I mean, everybody's got a big collection, but nobody's like, oh, fuck you because you have 100 faces. It's like
everybody. Fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just corny as fuck to me. That's just corny as hell. Like one of my favorite things that I did with, like when we were on the come up was like doing promo, and I'd be promoting like all over the country pretty much, California, Washington, all kinds of shit. And like my highlight of like every fucking night was like always meeting that one kid that's like, this is just like in the recent years, it's like 16, bro. You know what I mean? And it was like his first ICP or Twisted show. And he's just like out here, just like no friends or nothing, just like 16 years old. So it's like, yo, I think I might be into this shit, yo. You know what I mean? Like, that's so awesome, bro. You know what I mean? Like seeing him be like, so what's up, youngin? You know what I mean? Like, what's up with you, bro? You get his story, feel like welcomed and like what's going on, rather than being like, you ain't an old head, get the fuck out of here.
You know what I mean? Fucking quizzing them on shit and asking them if their merch is bootleg or whatever. It's like, just let a kid enjoy the shit, man. Like,
well, it's like one dude, like just the fact that like we were probably like in the heyday of like the family era from like 01 to 08 type shit of like this, that, and the other, and like we look back at it now and be like, damn, like I kind of missed that time. And I wish it could go back or this, that, and the other. But that's just within life in general. Like, even though it turned out for the negative or whatever, this, that, and the other, if things didn't change, you wouldn't know how to appreciate for what it was or what you had type thing. You know what I mean? It does suck and it's sad to see it dying, or it's progression. It's life. Everything has a shelf life for a life, but it's like one of those things where it's just like, back to all like the community thing, or just like people like if they feel like they can play a part in it or do something and like bring to the table, like this isn't a music industry to us, this is like tribal shit to us, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's something I've been preaching, and that's something I said to Bootleg Dipshit when we had him and his homie fucking Fake Legs on here. It was like, we can all have a piece of this, nobody gets to claim this is yours. You know what I mean? And that's what I try to tell people. They're like, man, I don't know. Like I seen a couple people doing makeup and shit, and they're like, I don't know what to do. Post it. Put that shit up there. This community will fucking share your shit to help you get off the ground.
Acceptance and like communication and like respect. You know what I mean? Just being like, don't be. It's like I like to like I was talking about like John about like him DJing the shit at the Camp Zool or whatever, and I was like, I helped put him on, and he hadn't DJ'd in a couple of years, and that was like his first thing out, and I was like, yeah, dude, like I'm trying to like find everybody's like around me, like they're sharp point, and like if I can do something to bring them up, or that goes for any Zooligan pretty much. If I can do something to help them shine or find their shit, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
That's a goddamn good mentality, bro, and good on you for thinking that way. Because a lot of people in your position could be big-headed, and they could be like, nah, fuck you, you don't know anybody, you don't need to. But like it's I love seeing how much people are willing to network nowadays as opposed to what it used to be.
Well, the Juggalo world became like the cool kids lunch table, bro. And it's like motherfuckers, it's like if you don't know me, a part of my clique, I don't really want to fucking know you. And it's not necessarily like an intentional thing, because it's like if one person has that mentality, it's gonna spread. And then it just spread to that point that everybody rolls like that. Because you're like, right. Oh, I'm with my people. Even though I've known you for years and you're 10, 15 feet away from me, you're too cool to say what up to me, or whatever the fuck, or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm not down with that energy anymore. I don't play that shit. I'm too old for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been going to the gathering for years, since like 2007. I've been to 12 so far. And
God damn.
Yeah, you're crazy. You're fucking crazy if you don't think the energy in the air has changed. You're fucking
I know. The last one we went to was fucking the 20th. We went there, and I got hit with a fucking mortar. Me and my homies.
Yeah. And I pulled up to this year. I mean, I went to the first day and then boogied up to Astro and shit and stuff like that. But it was so weird for me to be in something like this big event of just being like this Juggalo shit, and just like, I'm just going through for one day because I got to work. You know what I mean? And it was just like, seeing the people that were there, and like, I felt like rushed. I felt like I couldn't even enjoy my fucking time. Like it was almost like torture to go, because it was just like, oh man, I got to just turn around and fucking leave. You know what I mean? But just like, no, like, just like with me and my progression of life, this just like kind of like it will always be a part of my life, but it's not like it used to be anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like It's like we're with the fact that we do shit like Camp Zool and shit and stuff like that. And it's just like, I look at Camp Zool, to me is like, that's like people that would like come to your funeral type shit. You know what I'm saying? Or like that do the shit of just being like, yo, even though it's a new event and it doesn't have like these dope ass names on it and shit, it's like the biggest part about it is people just wanted to come to be a part of it. They just wanted to be there. You know what I mean?
Just wanted to see homies.
Oh, there's gonna be about 1,000 people in the future, maybe more. There's gonna be like thousands of people like, I was at the first camp. So, well, no, you wasn't, because there was not that many people there. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. Because once it becomes, as this grows, people are going to want to, well, I've been here since this long because well, no, you haven't. Sit down. Nobody cares. Go away. Because if you're at the first, you wouldn't talk about it.
How dope is it though that the Terror Town's allowing you guys to fucking do that first and foremost? Yeah. Like since we finally got to that subject. Holy shit, man! That place is so fucking cool.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. They kind of like had their me, Bill, Joe, and Lee all walk into a room. They get intimidated. Like it's like one of the things. So it was like, I was like, they probably think we're out of our fucking minds. Like they have no idea who the fuck we are. They probably think we're lunatics. You know what I'm saying? And it turned out, turned to be a really good working relationship, and everybody there's like super cool and stuff. It's like, I don't know, like when you hit that first turn, like once you go like once you turn off like the main highway and like hit that right turn before you go down that long road and shit. And I'd never even been there before, but just as soon as we hit that turn, like, going up with Bill and shit to scout it out, it was just like, it's like, yo, this is it. Like, this is it. It was like, this is it, bro. Like, it's going down. You know what I mean?
How many places did you guys look at before you finally decided, before this decision was finally made?
None, really.
Oh, really? Just the first shot. Damn, that's great.
I mean, to be honest, yeah. It's just kind of, we've been talking about it and doing it. And it's like, I mean, everything that we do, it's all about timing, and you got to make the right moves when it's time, and you don't want to force anything or like be unorganic about it or whatever. The universe has its plan. It has its design. You know what I mean? You just got to like wait for it.
So I got to talk to you a little bit at camp, but you were working a fucking lot. What did you, as more of an observer than a participant, what did you see? Like, what did you see more than anything?
I'm a participant. I'm a fan first, bro. I'm a fan. The parking lot, dude, the day before camps will even started, like the parking lot party per se, I'm out there like smoking a joint by myself at like 7 a.m. And I'm like, where the fuck everybody at? I'm like, where coming? You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to like, be that like spirit or like that energy to just like, let's get this motherfucker started. Like, let's get this shit going. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm a fan first, bro. Like, don't ever think that I'm just working to work. You know what I mean? Like, I just watch the show from a different point of view now.
I get that.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, what was your question again, Stu?
What did you see? Like, what was the things you seen the most, like, from the event? Like, what did you, like, you know what I mean? Like,
what was your takeaway from everything, you know?
There you go. Thank you. I'm high.
Like, what did you see there?
I'm high. Like, my words were just not coming.
Yeah. Are you saying, like, if I could just sum it up in like a
yeah. So like, you know, overall, obviously it was a very positive thing. We all, I think, can agree on that. But like, what things did you notice people were enjoying? Was there things you noticed that maybe they didn't enjoy as much as you thought they would?
I mean, like, I just the fact that everybody was fucking hyped to just be there in a fucking like 35-degree fucking rainstorm.
Yeah.
Like, help it. Like, yeah, we're fucking outside with it right now. You know what I mean? Like, hell or high water, fucking fire, fury. Like, we're fucking out in this bitch. Like, we're doing it. You know, that it's like, you know, everybody was just kind of like radiating off of that because you had to thug it out to fucking be there. You know what I mean? Like, that's like the one big thing I guess like I had to take away from it is like, it like, you know, Camp Zool, like, you know, maybe next year and it'll be better weather this time or this one. If you were there, like, you wanted to fucking be there. Like, you couldn't just go to like the gathering and just like throw on some flip flops and some gym shorts and like, yeah, we're just out here drinking water and fucking having fun. It was like, no, you had to be like fully prepared, like for like all kinds of shit. And it's just like, you know, just surviving pretty much at like, kind of like how like just like the force of nature, like testing a human being's existence. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It was an endurance test. You were absolutely fucking right.
And I think it proved that you guys have a strong fan base that's going to be there. And hopefully that, you know, hopefully it maybe bolsters your confidence to try some things that you've been thinking of and weren't sure about. I mean, I'm sure there's big plans, and with big plans comes concern.
Yeah. Well, with just the general, like, you know, finding Terrortown and then doing the first Camp Zool, and then like even like all the participants too, like we're like the bones. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all like the blueprint of what's about to come in like the next 10 years. Mm-hmm. You know, and like we're all like the pieces that are putting together this puzzle. Like, yeah, we may be missing some across the board and shit and stuff like that, but we at least got it framed out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we at least know where the ends are at and the pieces go and like who can fit here and who can do this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's even with like the Zooligans that came through too. You know what I mean? Like, the first people there, like, you know, not like I was at the first Camp Zool. Like, it's not a fan base. It's a community. Like, we're the ones that make the top priority list to get together and see each other in the network and talk to each other and go see AXC and like be with each other. So like our strength and like our bond and like friendships is what's going to be like the band or like the bond that's going to keep this community together and not fragmenting apart and falling off and shit. Because like me personally, like I like, it could be 200 people every year, dude. Like, I don't care. We're still going to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a, like, I don't care, bro. Like, it's like, it's, as long as somebody's showing up, as long as people want to be there, we're going to keep doing it. You know,
something else that you get from Camp Zool that you don't get at a gathering is there's a lot of one-on-one interaction with the artist. And I don't just mean, you know, the LLE crew. I mean, all the openers, everybody who was there. Everybody who was there for the most part was there to have a good ass time on top of just performing. You know what I mean? Like, there was such an energy of fun in the air, even though we all should have been miserable. But that fucking fire that you were mentioning, that we were all burning together, I don't think I've seen anybody have a bad set or a bad performance.
Well, because that's just a general, just the like just the kind of like the spiritual energy of just like everybody together was kind of like, we're gonna just have a good time. Like, we're not gonna focus on negative shit. You know what I mean? Like, why would we even think about it? Like, oh yeah, it's cold. Like, of course it's fucking cold. It's November. Like, or just even complaining and bitching. Nobody's mindset was even in a negative mindset. You know what I mean? Like,
in any way.
It's like a whole collective. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole like mass of people. You know what I'm saying?
And when's the last time you've seen something like that fucking happen? You know what I mean?
It's bro, like, we're, you know what I'm saying? I'm witnessing this shit just like you are, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
And I will say though, Ohio, you're kind of a bitch because it's actually been warmer more than colder.
Oh,
since that day.
It's been such bullshit, man. I've walked out outside of my house in a pair of shorts. Like, why couldn't it have been like that?
Yeah. To us, as I said, like it's kind of like the gathering of the Pupalodes or whatever, where it's like that first Camp Zool was like that frost badge of honor or whatever. Just like, yeah, we, you know what I mean? Like we went through the icy tundra to get here. Like,
fuck yeah, man. That is fucking awesome. So, what do you see in the future? I know you can't tell us a lot, but is there anything you can say?
I mean, everything that you kind of already know about, and then like, you know, I mean, we're just trying to fill in the cracks and like, you know, build up around us and like build other shit too. I think the main thing, at least my focus is to kind of, and like not necessarily with AXE or just in general, is to kind of get away from like concerts in general and just do like social events. You know what I mean?
Okay,
do
yeah.
Just do
like
shit
like the drive-in and shit.
Yeah, well, if the drive-in, like if the drive-in was a better time of the year too, like just like the drive-in, fucking torrential fucking downpour, still fucking like 60 fucking people were there pulling up tough. You know what I mean? Like torrential fucking downpour. Another test of like the heart that it almost like took to be a Zooligan that day. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely, man.
But so, yeah, oh, sorry, man. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, with the recent bringing on of Fun Time guys, those guys are a trip. How has that experience been working with them and sort of trying to get them in line and sort of on the path you guys are thinking?
Yeah, well, like to me, it's like too. Like, I kind of, you know, I've like I wouldn't say like I'm bored on like helping with AXE shit or like working on AXE shit, but I'm like with them, I'm just like super excited to just help them out. Like when I did like the Lucha Florida video with them, like I'd have never done that in an AXE video. Like I'm not doing that, but they're like, well, yo, we need somebody to do this. I'm like, all right, get the fuck in the car. Let's go do this.
That's awesome.
I want to like help them out, you know, school them. Like those guys are my homies, you know what I'm saying? Like just like everybody here involved, like these guys are my friends first, you know what I'm saying? But just to, you know, watch them grow and then like teach them the ropes that I know, and like, you know, they're learning as they go and like seeing shit from the world that it is now, that, you know, because it's, I guess, you know, their existence has like changed in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like they're looking from a different vantage point now. They have like other people around them that are like their like associated crew, you know. It tripped me out the other day because I was like at the Tech 9 show, and I was like coming back from the concert, and I was like, man, sometimes I don't really have friends. I was like, man, I don't. And I'm like, what am I talking about? And I was like, look down and see the shirt with like 5 motherfuckers that got my life pretty much. Like,
that's fucking. That is so fucking cool.
Yeah, I'm fucking tripping about, dude.
I mean, ask for much better friends.
You bring up Fun Time, and I love the difference between the two acts. I love the absolute blood and gore darkness that you get with AXE, and then I like the whimsical, like as they said, fucking Steve Buscemi's character from Con Air. I enjoy the difference between the two, and it's
floral wallpaper, baby.
To me, Fun Time guys are like ICP and Axe Murder Boys put together.
Yeah, that's a good way, because they've got the lyrics and they got that, like I said, that whimsical nature. But you guys are such a fucking force right now, and to have been on the ground floor to see this movement where it's come, that's just got to be so cool for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I was like, I remember when I used to buy our shit and give it away at the shows that we were playing, bro. You know what I mean? Yo, here's a couple, like, Bill, let me get a couple CDs. I'm just going to go give them out right quick. With like me and Bill sitting at the merch table together. It's just me and Bill at the merch table. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, we had like one t-shirt, like a couple stickers on that. So that first little run is like, a la Zulu, you know, like when we tried to do that, that was like thing to where it's like came out. Like, it's overwhelming. Like, I mean, they handle it well than I do. You know what I mean? Like they're like it's overwhelming. Of like what's going on and like what we're doing, you know, everybody involved, this, that, and the other, you know, it's kind of just like this, like you said, to me, it's like, you know, our force, to me, we're still kind of just rumbling, you know what I mean? Like, we're really, really kind of building up still, you know what I'm saying? It's still like, to us, it's always like it's always like the first day to us. It's like, man, we just got started. We ain't shit. Like, let's keep it going. You know what I mean?
Well, that's going to keep you always pushing forward and always trying to get better, and not saying, okay, well, that last album was fucking awesome. Now we don't got to do nothing for a couple years. You know what I mean? Like, the thing that I've seen from this label in general is just always progression, always doing something.
Yeah, man. I'm always trying to turn over another rock in the world and figure out where we can go or pull up. Like, I mean, I went to Twisted last night, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to Twisted, and it's like, yo, I'm just gonna rock out so we don't die in the crowd. Like, it was like, I want to go see this venue. Like, I want to see what this venue's at. Like, I want to see what the staff's like. Well, can we play there? Can we like maybe do some shit there? You know what I'm saying? Or like whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always like, oh, like even like the ICP Hootenanny show. I went there and I was like, I mean, we could probably throw an event here. I was like, we could probably even do like a mini something here or something like that. I was like, it's plausible, you know, and it's just like just scouting, you know what I mean? Or like even just not even Psychopathic or M&E events, just like big festivals and other shit, just to see how it's ran, like industry shit and stuff like Lost.
Yeah, so you can always know, like, knowledge is not a bad thing to have on anything.
Yeah, but it's the different levels and like the scales of it though, because it's like you got like cats like us that are just, you know, like plug and play, like got a few lights and some movers and shit and stuff like that. So like to me, like the top of the world, like production wise, is like Lost Lands. Like that's like
that's fucking ridiculous. The shit they do there.
Top of the world, but it's like the two mediums, and you know, just kind of end up somewhere in there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
you find your fucking your merge, and that would be so cool to see you guys become that, even something close to that visual. Holy shit!
Like imagine us if we had we had like an in this moment budget.
Oh my
god. That's a great fucking band. I love that shit.
I'm saying like their stage show, like imagine like AXE with a stage show like that.
I mean, there's no saying you guys can't get there at some point, man. Fucking
you know what I'm saying. But like that's like the mindset and the mentality that we have. The art expresses that through everybody's head. Like we see that visuals and stuff already through our minds, like when we listen to AXE and stuff like that. But to be able to like actually put that on a stage, you know what
Absolutely,
I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be fucking insane. And the shows would be ridiculous. Like I've already never seen a bad show, but oh my god, I can't imagine how high it would be ratcheted up.
Like I'm not saying it's not a real production, but like a real legit production. You know what I mean?
Well, I get what you're saying with like costume changes and other fucking characters. You can tell a full story. I've heard a couple artists have said that they want to be able to move in that direction.
Yeah, well, that's where it's kind of getting to with music and concerts in general. It needs to be more theatric. It needs to be more of a fucking like experience rather than just like what's the set list look like.
So what they need to do is they need to take some flares from something I love, and that's pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I always give this comparison between the underground music scene and pro wrestling. I always see it where like one can learn from the other if they look in the right directions. And what I mean by that is knowing your gimmick. If you intend to be a painted rapper or a masked rapper or whatever it is, know your shit. You know what I mean? And that's something you guys are really good at. And you're building this lore off of these fucking masks and this story. And it's insane, man. It's something I haven't seen in a long time. And I'm so fucking glad that I can be a part of it.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like you got to stick to what you know and fucking stick to what you're good at. Like, you know.
Yep.
Now, one of my big desires to be able to travel and to go different places. Has there ever been any thought, or is there a possibility of a future where, you know, we could see acts going across the pond and doing something over in Britain or anything like that?
AXE International.
Yeah, no, I already tried to make that happen. Like I went out and seen ICP when they did the Spray the UK tour, like a few years back and shit. Like I went over there and like was doing promo and shit and like met the people and like I met some, you know, juggalos and shit, but I ended up meeting the people that do like the mini gatherings over there and shit and stuff like that. And we were supposed to do like the one mini gathering over there but COVID happened, but we're still like in the like eventually hopefully we'll get to there. It's like the Manic Chester mini gathering or whatever. Like Says Too Dope, she's fucking cool. They're all fucking super cool over there. Like I love it over there. Like if I honestly, God, that's like my life hack. If like a guy could like have dual citizenship in like the UK, I would probably be over there more than I would be over here.
Oh, wow.
No shit.
Well, if it happens, I hope I have the funds and like the passports and all those fun things, because it gives me an excuse to go there and I can just write it off as I'm doing shit for the show or something.
Yeah.
Just doing photography.
Yeah, I'm working.
Yeah, I mean, inevitably, like that's like if you're like travel minded and shit, it's like the goal. Just you just want to get paid to travel.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, he talks about that shit all the fucking time. That's all he wants to do. And I hope you find a way.
Yeah, like me, I think I hit the streets when I was like 20. And like I was like hitchhiking and like riding trains like cross country from fucking like Virginia to fucking Los Angeles to Seattle to Florida pretty much for like a good couple of years and shit. As like,
damn, you was living the straight up fucking hippie life, wasn't you?
And fucking just being a street corner fucking spare changer, bro, for a good couple of years, probably about 2.5 years, something like that. And
I could see you as a gutter punk.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I was just juggalo, bro. I was fucking I was just out there street kidding it up just as a juggalo. You know what I mean? Like I used to have this like crazy drip pants with like all kinds of like Hatchet-Man and like twisted shit like sewn all over them and shit. I was still like a crusty kid, but I was like I was the jug crusty kid. But
I love the fucking imagination and the ingenuity that this community has. Like, just we make our own clothes if we can't buy the merch. That's so fucking dope.
Yeah. But no, like doing that, and then that kind of like trained me for like just like in general, just like knowing the country and like tour life and like road life and shit and stuff, because it was fresh to like go with like Bill and shit. And we're like out in like fucking Wyoming somewhere, and I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I've definitely been here before. You know what I'm saying? And like, and just like pull up to this random gas station or wherever we're at, and just be like, damn, this, we've been here before. Look, not that specific location, but like, look, there's a Long Live Evil sticker already there. Like we've been here. You know what I mean? Like polite, like almost like putting like little flags like all the way.
And I have to imagine with having that traveling experience behind you. I mean, I'm sure it's helped with you with working with the guys and making plans and making things happen.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
To know what's available in that area, and knowing your demographic, like there's a big market, in that's untapped.
Yeah, I'm for like Long Live Evil or just like AXC. I'm like the boots on the ground. Like I'm like the front line. Like I'm like the like the kind of like the in between. You know what I mean? I'm like I roll with them, but I'm also like on the outside of the fan base too. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm also like with the fan base. Like I'm still going to like Twisted shows. I'm still going to ICP shows. I'll still go to Tech Nine shows. Like I've hit shit ton of shows like just this year alone. Like I stay just going to shit. You know what I mean? And it's like when you're meeting different people that way, and you're like, how do you, like, oh man, you work at St. Andrews? Like, how do I get a job at St. Andrews? Like, what's going on over here? Like, who's that person over there? Like, what's going on? And you can like figure shit out, man. It takes some time, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a progression of things and stuff, but you can get there with it. I mean, just like me, in sense of like not so the musical aspect or something, but like me, I used to just pass out flyers. That's how I got started. I was just fucking flyer guy, bro. Just do, but like a machine though, not just like, oh, I'm gonna go pass out like a couple hundred flyers at this show. I was dumping it, like getting rid of it, and all from like a hilltop out in Oregon, bro. Just like hitting the post office, shipping shit out, traveling up and down from pretty much to fucking Las Vegas to Seattle, hitting up all like the bigger events, like the first Attack of the Ninjas and shit and stuff like that, and was just getting it out there, bro. I was like, we are gonna, like what everybody says is like, we are gonna appear bigger than we are.
Yeah.
Just off the alone.
And it's very tough with the oversaturation within the social media and the YouTube and all these things. There's so much bullshit you have to cut through to ever get noticed. So that machine out there, making sure those flyers are getting out.
It proves that the old school mentality still fucking works.
It's the reverse method pretty much to what everybody tells you will work. You know what I'm saying? Like I keep it old school. And yeah, you can't really necessarily like sell CDs out of your like you used to. You know what I'm saying? But you can still flyer and like network in and like figure out what shops are cool. Like, cause that's like me. I want to get to a point where like I can like travel the entire country for like 3 or 4 months, tap in with like all the Zooligans along the way, figure out all these little spots and markets where they live at,
and
all these venues that are cool with us playing. All these like places that are cool with us hosting events, this, that, and the other, and like kind of like build our own railroad or kind of, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh no, I get exactly what you're saying. That's fucking ingenious. I mean, that's the ultimate way to really know what you want from your fan base is to truly talk to them and ask them and not just, guess.
Yeah, but again, pull up to their block, pull up to their hood and being like, okay, man, like what's up? Like you're, Kyle, I'm just gonna say Kyle fucking whoever from I don't want to say a name or like say like Drew McKay, say him, like say I go post out there like a couple weeks, I'm like figuring out where like he goes to shows at, what kind of vibe he has, like where people like this, that, and the other, and like, get to know that framework from somebody that like lived around it and knows it, not just somebody that's for a couple years, somebody that's like been there they've lived their whole life there. They can tell me like wherever spot is whatever all over the city. But you know what I mean? Like,
now, somebody had mentioned something. I think it was Joe Christie. He said that you had worked a little bit with the WWE for a little while, on top of other things you were doing.
No, that went for a little bit. I just did one event, man.
What was that like working for them?
That shit was crazy. That shit was like on a whole other level of pirate shit that I couldn't even fuck with. Like, like crazy, dude. Like just the fact that they threw all that shit together and put it up, did the damn thing and shit and stuff. I was like, I'm just kind of like, all right, like this is pretty fucking impressive. Like you fucking schooling it out here. But I just did the one event. I just recently started doing like load ins and load outs at Nationwide. And shit there. Like I just went and seen Phil Collins or Genesis like a week ago or whatever and shit and stuff. Yeah,
he still put on a good show.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, he's like he can't move. Like he's like it was fire and shit and stuff. But that's like me on a different level now. Where like it's like I get to do ICP, or not ICP, but AXE and like Twisted shit and stuff, and do shows with them and shit and stuff. But like it's cool to like go to like Genesis and be like, yeah, man, we put up the framework for those lights and shit and stuff like that. Like you see that all that fucking like, you know what I mean? Like that whole row of lights. It's like easily like probably like $850,000 worth of lights just on that one row, like figuring out like the mechanics of it, like how does this work, to like the bigger level of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to know how it works and like how to put it together. It's a big toy. You know what I mean? Like a big show, like a big stage show or big production. It's just a big ass toy, bro.
Oh yeah. You know? I mean, when I'm shooting shows, like I've done a couple bigger names that have these, you know, I did Bring Me the Horizon for In the Pit, and just like the massive screens that they had, that they were walking around because they had catwalks around them, and all the light shows. I was like, that's a whole nother level of experience when you see those things, and just like thinking about how those even run. Cause I watched the guy on the soundboard and the mixer with the lights, and I'm just like, I don't even know what buttons you're pushing, but there's a lot of them. Yeah.
That's like the one thing. It's just like, you know, doing like WWE, like their base crew, like their factory roll in when they get to a venue is 150. They already 150 people just stocking, bro. That's like who they come up with, that crew. On top of like another like 250 fucking loaders, builders, carpenters. Like it's pretty fucking impressive, bro. Like it was like a little mini city up in that motherfucker, just moving around. And it was like somehow or another it went up and came down, and it's just intense being around it. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, we're about to set up a video wall that's like fucking like 15, 20 stories tall, bro. Like fuck the one that's like 4 panels and just sit back in the thing. Like, cause I was talking with Dustin about it last night, and he's like, oh yeah, the Lost Lane video walls. He's like, those like single panel shit. I was like, fuck no, bro. They're like these big ass like door fucking ways with like 5 or 6 of them on there, and you got to put them on these big ass parts. It's like a whole another level of shit, dude. Like it.
That is so crazy that you get to fucking work on shit like that, man. That is really fucking cool.
I lucked up. I've been waiting for that for a long time. Shout out to Cody, man. He got me on doing that shit and stuff like that.
Shout out Cody Manson. We love Cody. He's been a guest on the show before.
I am. Yeah, he got me on doing that shit and stuff like that. And you know, I've been helping him get on shows. Like I helped him get on Blaze and shit and stuff like that. We're like kind of, I've just like recently started kicking him past year, but we're like weird looking twins almost. Like,
yeah, I could see it.
Like, you know, we like a lot of the same shit, talk the same way kind of shit, skateboard the same way. You know what I'm saying? It's like weird, but it's like I've seen him on his grind for a minute too. He came up. I knew I seen him doing his thing in Cleveland for a minute, and I was like, he's on his way. It was just him and his girl, you know, just pulling up the shit in the drill table. And he was just hustling, bro. You know, and that's just what it takes. You know, it don't necessarily take a team, but you got to have a heart to get out there every day.
Yeah, it takes, like you said, it takes a heart. You got to give. You got to fucking understand that you're going to be the one that puts out more than anybody else. And there's going to be a lot of nights you don't sleep, and there's going to be a lot of fucking road travel.
Yeah, the sacrifice. Yeah, that's all. Like people, like, you know, comfortability. Like it would be easier. Like on probably like all people involved is like mental health and like diet. But here we are, and we're fucking like, you know.
Here we are. You're right. Okay, so One more thing I wanted to touch on. You pretty much run the merch side, right? That's what you do. That's
like one of the things that I do. You know what I'm saying?
So many hats. You wear so many hats, bro.
Yeah, I don't even like look at it as like I just do merch. I just do this. I just fill in the cracks, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a great way to think.
Yeah.
So like,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. What is it like trying to keep that shit flowing? Because like we order a lot of shit. We order it in large numbers, and people are demanding.
I mean, to be honest with you, dude, it's like fucking flipping weed or anything else, man. You just got to get the product and fucking move it. You know what I mean? Up and weighing it up, bagging it, and throwing it out the fucking door. Because I mean, like, just in personal, like I used to grow weed. Like I used to live out in Oregon. I used to grow pot, and it's kind of similar. I like this big ass digital scale, but I'm just like weighing up packages. You know what I mean? Like I'm still putting them in contractor bags, but it's, you know, I'm going to the post office. Like I'm not going to jail for this. You know what I mean? But it was like, I had that intensity of like the organization skill of like, I know how to run. I was like, I guess like run a farm, you know, like a pot farm. I can run a farm pretty much. So like doing this is like, it's easy.
It's running a merch farm.
Yeah, but it's easy though. You know what I mean? Like this is nothing. Like I want to get it to the point, like it's here and there and this, that, and the other, but like I want to get it to where it's just like I said, like the Emporium of Evil, like storefront.
Yeah, you had mentioned that when we come up and check the place out before the actual Camp Zool, you had mentioned that you guys are eventually maybe wanting a legit storefront. I think that's a great fucking idea.
Yeah, an idea of it, you know what I'm saying? Like just the idea, just thinking about it. Will we ever do it? Who knows? Like what we'd like to, yeah, but just we at least got to manifest it and think about it now or whatever. But like to me, to like working the Emporium of Evil, like I'm like the dude, like I was just like holding down the fucking gas station all season. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers just like up from like all over and being like, yo, what's good? Like, oh man, just chilling, drinking some beer, sounds like meeting some people and shit. And it's like cool. It's like, yeah, cool. Like, let's just hang out in front of this motherfucker. Like, it's like, hell yeah. Like I had like the homies from PA came down. They came down like 6 deep, and we were just like in the store like some hood rats.
Yeah, it was dope to kick it with you. It was cool to see the reaction from the normal people too, because some of the people were like, they were really, really digging what was going on in there. But I do want to share something. When we were there, there was a mom who bought a Necronomicon flag for her 9-year-old because neither one of them realized what was being purchased. And I just sat back and laughed.
Oh. Now there was a lot of really good interactions like that, because that's kind of just like really fresh to me. Was like seeing like I don't mean it in like a bad thing, but I just call them normies, like normal.
That's people. What I say. I call them normals. Normals are normies. They're not us.
Yeah, they're just normies. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like that, and just like because I look at it like it's kind of like just like being on a street kid, and like you're hustling change. You're just like sitting there, and people are just going by you, and you got to just like kind of tap until like someone looks your way. It's like tapping on a fish tank. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm just posted up there. All these people throughout the whole season are just coming through, and I'm just like tapping. And then, you know, you can know when someone like lights up when you mention something, and you're just like, hey, check this out, bro. Like, you know, you already bought a shirt. Well, here, man, here's a CD. Like, check us out. Like, you know, we're local. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we're throwing an event here. You like to have a good time. You know, what kind of music are you into? Like meeting like those borderline, like being the cool ass dude that's like working at the record store and just being like,
yeah, I see that.
Like, you know, you burn, like, what's up, man? You trying to, you know, we there was actually a couple people that do Terror Town. It's like they go to the haunt and they came through. It's like, you know, just like it's complete third party. People had no idea about us until we did the Emporium at Terror Town and shit and everything like that. And then they came to Camp Zool, and even they were just like, this is pretty cool. Like, this is pretty fresh. And like just meeting people to get like just kind of like with a promo thing, and like just, you know, buying shit off the internet. Like why like we are so detached from each other as like human beings, and it's only getting worse to the point where it's just like it's so fucking I hate it, bro. Like, just to be honest with you, I hate it.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. We're with the social media and shit, it's supposed to be bringing us closer, but yeah, we've never been more apart. But I mean, that's more of a soapbox thing than we're going to go into on here. But I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the number one reasons why we wanted to have you on here is I wanted to say you are kind of for everything you just told us that you do for this crew. You are a fucking MVP, bro. You do so fucking much And I wanted to let you say everything before I came to this point. Like, every crew needs a Rick Mole. I can't say it enough. When I hear people tell me in the scene the things you've done for them or the things that they've seen you doing, and I myself have seen you doing or been involved, every fucking crew needs a Rick Mole, bro. Straight up. I can't say it enough.
Agreed.
Fams has told me that too. From Fams and Hooligans, he's told me that before. He came up to me at the gathering one time, or the gathering, and gave me like his gold 26 pin off of his vest and shit. I mean, we were spun out. It was the gathering, but he was just like, "Here, man, I want you to have this, bro." I was like, "For real, dog?" I was like, yeah. He's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Much love," but he's just like, he says that all the time. He's like, because not necessarily to be the MVP or whatever. That's not what I'm trying to do. I just don't have like a talent. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really good at anything. Like, I'm not an artist or any kind of shit like that and stuff. So like, I would rather just like, I still want to be a part of the show though. You know, I still want to do shit. You know what I mean? Like, I still want to like help the world go around. You know what I mean?
And that's what we feel like, bro. That's all we try to do, man.
Like, to like even do an interview or anything like this, or, you know, I don't need a spotlight, bro. I don't want a spotlight. I don't really want, I mean, I would still do it with even not the recognition or the respect from, you know, it just isn't, I just do it because I love it. And I love everybody love everybody's involved with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's special. We remember this. It's something that's different. It's new. It's, you know, I don't know, man. It is what it is, but the passion and the heart behind it is why I do it. You know what I mean? But like, it's not because I want to make a bunch of money or like be in front of people and be Mr. Popular. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with just chilling in the back. It's like, as long as I play my part, like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Like, that's something I sort of have been thinking about recently. I don't know if it's because I'm getting old, but doing this, when we look back, you know, this is the stuff we're going to think about. We're going to think about the times we were with our friends, the things that we did, the people we met. And it's kind of being cognizant of where you're at and the people you're interacting with, rather than just sort of passing through everything and trying to fight everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what you said is good too. Like, cause you like, you know, like I've like looked up to the point where like I get to kick it with my best friends like all the time. You know, with like Bill, you know, and shit and stuff like that. I literally get to kick it with him all the time, bro. You know what I mean? And like, you know, same thing with like the Zooligans and shit and stuff too. And you guys, like, that's, I would say, like, quote unquote, like, that's my job. But like, that's my job, is to be there for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And just be that guy that's like, you know, like, oh, you need this done, like, who you need over here, like, all right, man, like, let's get this shit going. Like, you know, you need help doing this, somebody needs load in over there, oh, you need to do an interview over here, like, maybe we can figure something out, like this, that, and the other. Like, I'm the X factor almost, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like like putting people together and like, you know, like trying to like make it happen for everybody's like betterment, I guess, you know.
That's a good ass way to sum this up, man. I want to say one more time, thank you for doing this with us. I really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
We love everything about LLE. I breathe that shit, man. I appreciate you guys doing everything you do for us.
For you guys, that's the thing about it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm big on that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm nobody at the end of the day, dude. Like, I ain't fucking shit. I'm a fucking nobody. But it's cool to just like do it for people that care about it. And like, it's kind of like they're like, well, you know, like listening to ICP or something, and you're just like motivated to go to work and stuff like that. Like, we're like a life force in like people's lives.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, we're giving
definitely
them
a soundtrack.
Yeah, the spark and a motivation or something like that and stuff and shit and stuff. Like, it's fucking, it's wild, dude. You know what I mean? Like, and we love you guys. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like, we wish we could. I'm like, that's like, I feel bad sometimes too, because I'm working all the time. You know what I mean? Like, and I get to kick it a little bit, but I don't get like the full experience of shit. And everybody's like, well, what's up with Rick? I was like, I'm fucking working, man. Like, I got to go over here and do this. Like, I got to run back over here. So I don't get to soak it up and like be as much as you guys do. But I love it because it's like, and I thought about like Camp Zool of like, man, like friendships were built, like relationships were probably made. There's probably a child conceived at Camp Zool. You know?
I would not be fucking surprised.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucking intense, man. Like, that's like real intense shit.
2 marriages and an engagement.
Yeah, but it's not a it's not a rap group to us, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, you know, it's not a record label to us, you know what I'm saying, like it's a family, you know what I'm saying? It's
but that's something we've all kind of missed.
Yeah.
Is that family shit. But so where can they find you on social media if you want them to find you?
Yeah, you can follow me at XUL RDM at 740. It's a Zool RDM for Rick the Mole, but yeah, XUL RDM 740 or 740. Yeah. And then like whatever, if you follow me or actually unfollow me.
Well, you can find him in all of the wonderful groups that the Zooligan community has. So
like the alley.
Yes, he will jump on there, and he's watching all of you.
He's a sheriff.
I don't know if anybody's going to be in Little Rock, Arkansas, but we'll be with the Fun Time guys. Little Rock, Arkansas. I forgot the venue name or whatever, but it's supposed to be it's going to be a rager, I guess.
I mean, it sounds like a hell of a time. That is just one hell of a drive from cold ass Indiana.
God, Indiana sucks. But yeah, man. So I again, like I said, just thank you for doing this. And do you have anything else you want to add before we close it up?
No, I appreciate the fuck out of you guys. Like that's all I really need to say, man. I appreciate the fuck out of you guys. Not just you, like not just you guys, but just like the Zooligans in general and like everybody. Like you know what I mean? Like just appreciate the fuck out of it, man.
That's all of you guys listening. Hey. Again, Rick, thanks for being on with us. You guys, thanks for watching with us. Make sure you subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. Goddamn, like, share, subscribe. Please comment in the fucking, put something in the comments. I want to talk to you fucking people.
And don't forget to give Rick his round of applause in the comments section. You guys will catch him on the next one. Peace.